Cheeky Bibo. I think somebody will recognize that one. Now, I assume this is pretty much done. I'm sure there's lots that they would like to add, but I've been dying to tour this place. So, ready or not, I'm here. But the entrance is nicely done. I like when people can come up with ways of either incorporating what's already there and just making it look like it's purposeful that it's, you know, that way, or just hiding it all together. And this is kind of a combination of the two. They've just added in a lot of stones and flowers. They've got the dome and the glass covering up the entrance, so it's not overly done and it's not underly done. It's just the right amount, in my opinion. So yeah, this is Soccer's place, as far as if I get it right. Get people confused, so apologies if I'm incorrect, but I believe this is Soccer Top's place. The plot is called Cheeky. I guess more to go with the name of the character than what the plot is about. It's one of those instances where if I was just getting into, you know, random viewing, I would probably pass up a plot named Cheeky, but you know, this is one of those cases where don't always judge it by the name. Just take a chance and check it out, and you'll be really happy with what you come across. We're going to go around the grounds first and see what all is there, and then we'll go into the main part of it. You can see the pathway has been nicely constructed with I believe it's all hover park pieces, but they've been very careful with how they've layered them in. It's kind of hard to see in the lighting that's here now, but you can see there's like actual designs layered in because of the way they've placed them and how they've sized them, and it looks almost, it's reminiscent of like train tracks where you have like junctions or something, but it's really smoothly done. It's not like on my plot where there's like little bumps and gaps and stuff. This one's really nicely planned out. So you have this lovely little path that you just go around this garden area. They have their own custom-built lamp posts. It's just made out of fence posts with the Heart Collection lamp on top, and then little touches of flowers. And each one has its own different touch of flower, so it's not overly repetitive. Most of the water feature here is encased with those stone steps that you get from Starcom Basin. These things, I don't know why, they always remind me of candy. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's the Skittles, but they're like the one color. I think that's what it is. But look at the care in layering this waterfall to make it look like the water is almost, dare I say, almost flawless, because it looks like it comes that way, doesn't it? The way they've been able to stick it in there. Because I know from working with the waterfalls myself, they're very tough to kind of match up just so. And this one was done really nicely. It's so shiny. Looks like it's pouring out gold or something. Again, hover park pieces for the path and the bridge. They've managed to just kind of smoothly tie them both in. Again, they've changed the flower arrangement around each of the little light posts. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Got these little benches for nice little seating and viewing. Lovely little scene. Got the very colorful sky. And it's not overly done. I think that's probably part of my problem. I feel like I have to fill up the landscape with lots of stuff. And this is a good example of you don't have to cover every inch. Well, you don't have to change the name Soccer if you don't want to. I just made the comment. Take it what, you know, how you want. I think this is the Isn't this the massive umbrella tree that everybody always wants to turn upside down? And very few people use it like it's supposed to be used, just as a tree. But it's a really nice little centerpiece for this little pond lake type thing. If you're wondering what the sparkly bit is, that's just a buoyant blue crystal that's sunk down, and all you see is, it always looks like little will-o-wisps or something. It's a really pretty effect. I liked using it on my Hallows Eve plot. Sugar top. Yeah, that would be good. um, Again, uh, it's just a very picturesque place. They've continued the stones not only around the river but around the little forest here. And notice they've changed the trees. These are all mostly pines. And then they've added some extra grass. So you get the idea that it's, a little bit less kept, or however you want to say it. So there's a lot of untrimmed grass. And there's our host right there. Cheeky Bebo. Do the seats work? Yeah. Last time I was here, we were sitting backwards. It was a little weird because you were sitting out in the air. But it's a nice little campfire spot. It's a perfect place for someone to come and have a little gathering, get together. Maybe if you arrange it ahead of time with Tiki, they will put in some extra seats, a couple of tents, have a little camp out. Be really cute. Now, if I get any of this wrong, Soccer, let me know, because I'm doing a lot of guessing here as far as what you're using to build this stuff with. Okay, I think the raised ground for the main house area is on a snowy hill, and the way they've covered it up, they've just used various stones. I think it's the obsidian stones to kind of trim it up, to hide where it doesn't match exactly. So, there'd be this little snow pile that you'd see underneath here. And, if our camera zoomed out really far, we could probably sneak in and see that it's a little snowy thing there. You can kind of see it right there, but, there's no way of them being able to cover it entirely. The only way they could probably get around that is blocking this off, so somebody nosy like me can't zoom my camera out and take a look. I think this is one of the new ginkgo trees. And I don't know what plans they have for these other areas, if any. But again, hover part pieces are a key element here, especially for the construction of the house, as you will very quickly see here. It's I hate to say simple, but it's sweetly simple. There's nothing like super outlandish, like fancy, but it looks modern and very clean. I love how clean it is. And that sounds weird. I don't mean that it looks dirty or not dirty, but I mean the lines. Everything looks very precise, and I don't know how else to explain it. It's I think it's just if you're using certain parts to build your house, like the Booty Bay bits, it was purposefully built with many different styles of materials. So it has that kind of just kind of mushed together, shoddy kind of look to it. And this has the complete opposite look because it's very stylized looking and clean. It's just a lot of clean lines. I love this little building. Just look at the shape of it. Most of it is hover part pieces for most of the trim and a lot of the features like the the window framing and everything. And then I believe it's Oran walls and arches. for the white part of it. And then of course lots of glass being used so that they've got like tons of windows built in here. I think that would have been the hardest bit for me, planing in the windows and getting that to work so nicely. But using the arches, it really worked well for this little house. So sad that I come here at a time when it's so dark, but maybe the inside will brighten up a bit. So here we have the entrance to the house. Again, it feels simple, but it's very lavish looking because I think it's that simplicity that just really calls attention to the architecture and the textures that they chose to use. Um, yeah, uh, I especially adore that it's to scale. There's so many places you go to, everything is so oversized, and this is a good example of while you have this huge plot, doesn't mean you have to use the entire thing for your whole house. They've just kind of kept it to themselves. I mean, it's Chua size basically. The flooring, if you're wondering what that is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sucker, I think it's the bottom of the cellar piece. Is that what it is? The cellar entrance? Yeah, I thought that's what it was. It's, I don't know, some of the bottoms of some of the items that they make, um, it's like it's left unfinished, so you get the streaky patterns, and some of them have some really interesting designs. And this one is the bottom of the cellar entrance, and it's really pretty. It's got this lovely little brownish and beige and white little pattern on it. And they've utilized that to their advantage in giving the floor this really classy look. I love it. Okay, remind me what you're using for the cabinetry here. I forget what it was. I am so bad about that, but I love this kitchen. This is the microwave. It's a Dominion, I think it's the Imperium shelf. Is that what it's called when it's in the crate? It's like the Dominion shelf, but I think it changes names when you learn it. As the handle, and of course glass, and then it's got the uh, the metal grate shelf as the rack inside there. And it looks to be, it's really hard to see in the light here, but it looks to be hover part pieces for the main part of it. All right, stone stairs. I guess the bottom of the stone stairs is the countertop here. We've got our lovely marble pattern. We don't have a, that's one thing we struggle with is having different textures for, things, and it's interesting people coming up with ideas from alternate decor to use it as something like this. It works really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't get a hold of very many of those, so I couldn't do something as expansive as this with mine, but it's a really lovely idea. The canisters are just orange cylinders and domes with, I believe, Merc Dynamite for the top, little topper. For the stove top here, let's see if we can get this right. It looks like, I keep walking on it. Was that Ichthian landing pads for the little stove toppy things? I don't know what those are called. And the handles are the Chua cups. It's one of the landing pads. I think it's Ichthium, but I'm not sure. Then we have a little bread box here, and that's just Oran domes and the curved wall and curved glass, and then that repeated Dominion shelf handle, just like the microwave for this one. And then, of course, they just layered up the unburnt toast to make a little loaf in there. It's a really cute little thing. The sink, I really don't know what they're using for the water. I assume it's maybe the bottoms of the gear trophies, but I can't say for sure. Dominion landing pads. Okay, I knew it was something like that. The Dominion ones. Well, now someone's going to use the Ichthyum ones, I guess. I don't think the Orin one would work really well, but maybe for someone that's going for an Orin-y theme. Again, it's Orin tubes, curved tubes and cylinders to make that nice little faucet, and then the two of cups for the handles, the red moon vent for the little drain. I assume you're responding to the gear trophy bottoms for the white. I know that's what this is. The little kitchen island is a upside down gear trophy because you can see the little placard kind of showing there. The refrigerator is a really cute idea. Again, it's kind of hard to see. Might have to turn your screens up a little bit, but you have the dry pantry storage up top. It's mostly constructed of hover part pieces, curved and straight. And then one side is the refrigerated side, and then the other side is the freezer section. And notice how they've used like the frozen lakes and the icicles to help better represent that this is a little bit colder. And then you have the plain old refrigerated side. Got the new taco decor in there. And of course, layered glass to get the nice pattern. And again, repeating the handles there. It's really good for, even if it's just for one room, to kind of keep those elements repeating. Not too much, but it really helps tie in the furniture and all of the other details and such a thing. Ouch. Well, I haven't actually gotten a hold of one of the new torches, so I'll have to check that out if the lighting is nice. My favorite light right now is the orange sconce. That tends to be my go-to light when I'm looking for something because it's relatively small and I can tuck it in when I don't want it visible. And yeah, that's the main thing I think this is missing is some lighting choices, but you'll get there. Notice the chairs, they're custom as well out of cover part pieces. It's a really cute little design. I mean, it's even got a little bit of an arch in the back. Again, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm trying to get some good shots here. I think the table is a hover part piece for the base, and then it's that new, was it is it taurine or Osun? It's like I don't know the exact name of it. It's like a dais, whatever you call it. What the heck is that thing? Like the tiered little stair step thing, and they've just used it upside down. Again, when you're looking at items, rotate them, resize them, take a good look at all of the sides of it. You might find some really interesting textures. This is a nice, looks almost like a big chunk of stone. Eldon platform. It could be. All I know is it's really pretty. And it balances good against all of this hover part piece stuff. I mean, look at the windows and things. Nicely done. That was a good shot of my face there. Okay, over here we have, it used to be, I think was going to be the desk. They decided to make it a little display area with different tiered little cylinder pieces. And then they made this lovely little night painting. I'm so glad that's really catching on. I've been having fun with my own paintings, but it's been fun checking out what other people have been doing with theirs. I know Annie's been making some, and now we've got Soccer Tops versions. I'm sure there's some others. I know there's been some in the past. I mean, I've been doing paintings as far back as beta, so I know it's something that isn't new. I've seen some other people. I know of one, I can't think of the name, but there was one that did like a portrait of a pair of Orin in their house, and it was so adorable. Um, but it's just fun to see other ideas of people. So this is a really nice little nightscape. It looks like a comet coming through. I assume that's all those orange sconces that I so love, and that's a really good use of them for a little night sky scene. Adorable. And it's so simple. I mean, you just pick a little thing and you just kind of go with it, and it's just amazing how that kind of comes together so nice. Then we come to the living room, and look at those couches. Don't they look so comfy? I kind of used a similar idea with the exile mattresses for my Valentine's thing. I had a little, like a waiting room couch for those that were waiting for their dinner table in the restaurant. And that's who I got it from Soccer and Ellie. I think Ellie's real big on using the mattresses as cushions. So they inspired me to make that for mine. But again, hover park pieces, look how versatile they are. You not only can build a house with them, but you can build all sorts of furniture. And look, they're using it for the fireplace as well. I love how they're using the cylinders for display and then the domes for the table. This is one of those, again, it's an example of how less is more. I think that's the best way to put it. Yes, they could probably put all sorts of plants and bookshelves and trophies on the walls and things like that, but it really doesn't need it. I like the I don't know what word I'm looking for. Not simplified, but I don't know. It's just it keeps it looking clean. It doesn't look cluttery. Now, I know they kind of somewhat despise the staircase because it took so many pieces to make, but look how awesome that is. Again, it's hover park pieces for the railing and stuff, and then glass for the stairs. Look at that. How dreamy is that? I mean, that is just, I love that. You think, well, who wouldn't think of putting, but I think this is the first time I've seen somebody use the glass for stairs, at least in this design and everything. I really like that. Yeah, the fireplace is really nice. Again, it's just a few pieces, but look at the care. I mean, there's a lot of layers there just to get that covered up nicely with the hover part pieces. And then I guess it's the rustic fence for the little grating thing. But it just blends so, that's one thing about you being able to use the same kind of items for a lot of features in your house because it helps really tie it all in together. I don't know, I adore this house. I told Soccer I was going to live here. I'm going to move in. Now, this is a little dangerous for me because there's no railing here, so I'd probably just walk right off and fall in. This would probably be a good place for like a chandelier or something if you wanted to go that far. It really doesn't need it though. But look how nicely the staircase worked. That's one of the troubles I have when I do like a two-story thing. I'm always having trouble with staircases or how to, get up there. Yeah, the stairs are awesome. I know it. Do you remember how much decor those took, the stairs? Because I know Soccer talked about how it was ate up a lot of the decor count. I don't even remember what your decor count is at this time. I imagine it's pretty high because with the house being so custom, it's bound to be pretty high already. Here's the bathroom. Look at that cute little toilet. Look at that. And again, hover park pieces, Orin pieces. It's funny. I like how they just kind of snuck in the dome there. So it looks like a lid, but you know, you couldn't have it closed, you know, like halfway or whatever, but it works. That's really what we need. We need a lot of disc, you know, we need more building block variety for, you know, cylinder is nice, but we also need like the discs and all the different textures. That would be handy for a lot of round buildings and stuff. Because you know, you can only use the Orin windows and things like that so often before it starts getting annoying. Here's a lovely little tub. And notice they got this nicely lit. And I never understood, it's no diss on you, soccer, but I never understood why people wanted their tub right where the window is. That's like so exposed. And I know it's not like you got neighbors or anything showing, but it just feels weird. Like I would want mine in a cave where nobody can see. Yeah, Maddie, that's true. My husband thinks I'm nuts when I talk about the toilets. He goes, "What's so awesome about the toilet?" It's like, well, I don't know. It's a feature that almost every house or build has, whether it be a public restroom or, you know, a house restroom or whatever. And it's just, I don't know, it's funny to me that, you know, how many different ways you can make it. The tub, though, is again hover park pieces for most of the main part of it, and then it's been lined with Orin floors. I like how they've angled it. You know, it's kind of got the tub shape, but it's still kind of squared off, and it's a repetition of the sink downstairs as well. Got the little pillow as the soap there. Hey Bones, welcome to the show. Glad you can make it. And look at this little vanity uh, area here for the sink. Again, it's a repetition of the same stuff that they got downstairs in the kitchen, but then you've got this added little bit. It looks like, wow, I really don't know what that is. It looks like a hover park piece lining a Orin uh, dome, but it's also got like cylinder part. I don't know, this looks like several pieces smushed together to make that sink part. Window for the glass, and of course hover part pieces for the trim. It mirrors the shape of the windows, which is nice. Repetition of shapes, repetition of materials are both good elements for helping give cohesiveness to your build. It looks like Merg Dynamite for the handles here on the Orin floor cabinets. These sconces give off pretty good light. Never noticed that before, but I don't use a lot of Dominion stuff, so. Well, my husband doesn't really watch it too much, Annie, but I'm glad yours does. My husband just thinks I'm nuts if I come in here. He's actually tried housing hollow dome and half bowl. Oh, okay. So it is a hover part piece, the half bowl. Well, that makes sense. But it's a nice way of layering objects. It's almost like it comes that way because I really couldn't tell very well. But like I was saying, my husband has tried housing, and basically all he has is it took him, I think, a week, and he's got four walls and a table and a light. That's it. And he's so proud of it. But he comes in and watches some of the stuff I do once in a blue moon, and he's like, I give up. He just says that he can't do stuff like that. So here's the bed, and look at the craftiness in this. You got hover part pieces for the main frame of the bed, including the headboard here. You've got, guess it's Dominion walls. I think that's the one that has the pattern on it. The Exile one is just strictly red, but the pattern one I believe is the Dominion version. Just kind of snuck in there to make it look all lush and very, I don't know, decadent looking. The bed itself, it looks like it's the bottom of a gear, but I assume it's not because you would think that would be kind of like sticking out below, and I don't think it is. Let me look. I'm going to check. See, no, so it can't be that. So I don't know what the mattress is. What's the mattress, Soccer? We're going to steal your ideas. I don't know what that is. Is it a towel? That's the only other thing I can think of that might be big enough and wide enough for the mattress. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing is a towel. Of course, the yellow pillows, and then the Chua rug for the blanket. It's a really cute combo. I'm guessing it'd be the striped towel if it's one of the towels, because I think the lop one is a little more orangey. Hey, we guessed right. It's a towel. We're so good. Here's another makeshift chair. It's kind of like the couches below, but it's just kind of been, sized a little bit differently to make it look like a nice little, like a lazy boy chair. You need the little handle here and the little pop out where the footrest comes out. That'd be good. That'd be my kind of chair, a lazy boy. Now I remember you working on the little closet here. You changed it up quite a bit from what I remember. I don't even remember what pieces you were using at the time, but this looks really nice and clean. I like it. Basically just a big block of cover part pieces, the merged dynamite for the handles, and then Oran wall floor for the doors. Probably just one floor piece there and just split up with the hover part pieces. Oh, for the towels, yeah, those are so expensive. I actually farmed up mine. It's just a lot of time to do it. If you can find someone with the boxing fab kit, I would strongly recommend just getting them yourself. You don't actually have to complete the challenge to get the towel, but it is a 50-50 chance on which towel you get. So if you're looking for a specific one, you might have to do it a few times before you get the towel you want. But oh, the neck's trying to crack. Is there anything in the bunker? I can show them where the bunker is, but I can't remember if you said there was nothing in it or not. I love the look of this one, the the little mailbox, but it's Dominion, so I don't use it. There's a little gardening area out here in the corner. Anyway, the bunker house is actually in this little garden uh, place here. Well, I like the Chua one too, the Chua mailbox. I think I use it more than I do any of the others. Um, but uh, I don't know. I think most mail plots don't have a mailbox, and that's probably inconvenient to any visitors. But you know, I like. It's always fun to see combination of plants to make it turn into something else. So you have this little rose bush here, but it's really a combination of the habanero thorny bloom or whatever, and then the regular little bush. Uh, I forget the name of it. Is it bull bush or I'm so bad with the names. But here's where the bunker house is hidden in this lovely little garden. And the garden is just, it looks like, whoa, kind of snuck off in there. Um, what are these purple plants? I've been seeing these a few places. Have I missed where those come from or something? I know those, the white ones are the glowing space wheat. And I think this green bit here is like the floating celestial clump or something. Yeah, I've been seeing, I think this is the second plot I saw those purple flowers, and I'm wondering where the heck they're coming from, because it doesn't look like, at first I thought they were part of the little flower arrangement vase that comes, but I don't see any of the other flowers with it, so I'm not sure. So tell us your secret, Soccer. Where did those purple flowers come from? Maybe I missed it on the housing vendor. I went through that item by item though, so I don't know. See, we've got everyone interested. Where did the purple flowers come from? Tell us, tell us. I think that's the green part though, right there in the middle is part of the, oh, the floating celestial canopy thingy with the little greenish blue bulby things on the bottom. No, I think the bone flower, the corpse bloom, I think those are orange, and they're a lot. They don't have like a long stem. They're more closer to the bloom. Flowering octoweed. Are you serious? Well, isn't that special? Well, I'll have to remember that because that's a really pretty flower. So there you have it, flowering octoweed for the purple stuff. So yeah, going into the bunker house because I don't know if there's anything in there. And there is. Whoa, look at that. Oh, the lovely little sneaky door. It's already open. Somebody's been in here. This is so awesome. This door. That's the new stone door. Look at that thing. It's I guess from the Taurine collection. It's just like the one that's in the actual dungeon. I only noticed that earlier this week, I think. Um, that at the very end, when you go in for the final boss, that door opens up and it's the exact same thing. And I love that they're giving us those interactable kind of decor that's been available, but just not to us. I'm guessing most of this is probably unfinished. I'm just going to snoop around and look. Look at all those that's a lot of posters there. I imagine this is going to be some kind of control thing where there's going to be lots of buttons and doodads. I'm guessing, but that's my guess. Here's a little power source. Looks like, what is that, a bomb disposal thing where they set it off? See, this will be ideal for that new Katya's deal, where you can actually have that door raise up with the switch of the lever. That'll be something for you to try, Soccer, because that's exactly what her new add-on feature is for, that interactable stuff. So that as someone switches the lever, it'll move this door up and down. That'll be awesome. You know, if that's what you want it to do. The Army of Triangles, I don't know. This is just an unfinished bit. You'll have to come back later. We'll have to come back and retour, I guess, and see all the little details that you add. So I'm sure there's lots that you'd like to add. But yeah, this has been a lovely little treat. It's one I've been wanting to tour for a while now, but they're taking so long, hint, hint, and getting it finished. The lighting's a little better, so I'm going to take another look around the house on the outside just to kind of try and show that awesome construction. Sometimes make you wonder how many of these housers, these builders around are architects in real life or have some kind of artistic background. Is, is this, they put out an example. It's this flower right here, and it's got the little purple stuff on the top. And see, that's how much we don't pay attention to this stuff. That's, again, another example of how you want to really figure out different ways to use this bit. I wouldn't know how to use these bits, but that's a really pretty flower. I'm going to have to use that somewhere, maybe for my garden on the Easter plot. Yeah, thank you, Soccer. I appreciate that. They put that out special for us so that we can see. It's got the purple flowers up there. It's an ugly plant, in my opinion. I don't like using it because it's weird looking, but I think I used it in a couple of the aquariums I've made in the past because it moves a little bit and it looks a little like an octopus kind of thing. Yeah, that's sharing the ideas. That's part of it. I love the housing community because they're so giving. So yeah, that's Cheeky Bebo, aka Soccer Top's house. Cheeky. I dare you to leave it cheeky from now on. Maybe people will still visit it. I'm sure they will. They'll be missing out if they don't. It's a lovely little plot. Okay, for the final one today, we're going to visit Trudy Blue. I've had several people um, mention this one to me, both on the forums and via in-game mail, so I thought, okay, I'm going to take the hint. We must come and have a look. And this is called Hugel Acres. Um, and from my initial view, the way I would categorize it is a home and vineyard. So it's kind of like a home residence slash business kind of plot. And so let's just take a look around and see what we got here. Right away, you can see there's going to be a lot of surprises around because not only are they setting up some little scenes here, like you have this little little meeting place with the cushions and the lap hookah. See, here's those. That's that the bone bloom. It's orange, but those will make some lovely flowers too. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Drat, I'm gonna have to collect some more stuffs. But look at the pathway, and that's just I think it's the Heart Collection coffee table, and they've just sunk it down so that what I call the butterfly shows. It looks like a butterfly to me. I don't know why. But they used it as the stones for the pathway. It looks really pretty. I like the color of it, and them cordoning off these little sections of their plants, using the overgrowth as hedges and things. I tried using that on my Valentine's plot, but I guess just due to the sky and the lighting that I used, they looked way too bright. Here they kind of match okay because everything seems nice and bright, but for mine it didn't work very well. Okay, we're just going to go through this gate here. Now, the unfortunate thing is they're using the copper gate here, but that one doesn't actually function, sadly. I don't know why they didn't make it functionable, if that's even a word, but the fencing here is just the wooden dividers. I think it's the dark ones. I'm not sure. I think the honey ones are a little lighter. Then you have this little river kind of area. You've got the water coming through the purple arch stones, and then you've got this little, I guess this is supposed to be like where I don't know if it's where they fish or where they come and do their laundry. Laundry hit me first, but it could be like a little fishing hut kind of thing. But it's made out of the new boardwalk pieces and decking pieces, and of course the oaring pillars. Notice I made sure to get the cattails. It's like the bulrush grass or something, and it's got the little cattails on it. Unfortunately, it only comes in that yucky brown color, which is a little odd because it makes it look like dead grass, but I love the cattails on it because it really suits a watery kind of area. We're kind of going about this plot in a backward way, but here, I love this little part. It's a spacecraft that's come, and notice the trees are all bent where the spacecraft come in. It's warped the forest, and they've got this poor little WildStar is being abducted here. But how funny is that? I like little scenes like this where it's like it almost tells a story. The spaceship itself is made out of metal plates and orange windows for the lighting all around the edge, and then of course the Chua spotlight in the center. But how cute is that? Poor little WildStar though, he's being abducted there. But I like the way they, took the time to bend all of the trees out, to make it look like it's, actually just happened. It's an intrusive thing. I like the idea behind it. They got that little Hugel statue back here. Again, the eyes are being lit up with the orange windows for anyone curious. A lot of folks have used that kind of thing, and they change the color. Sometimes they use the pink ones. This one is opting for the orange. Probably because the orange is a more warm color. And I don't know, it's just prettier to me. That the pink one has a little sticky-outy thing that kind of looks a little weird. But that's the, I think it's the Hugel hinge fab kit here, and they've just added bits that they wanted. Here we have a little makeshift, what is that? A cycle grinder. It's not really a grinder because it's got like the 3 wheels, but it's not a tricycle either. It's a tri-bike. I don't know what you call it. Looks like a combination of Chua chairs. Wheels has got the Merg dynamite for the little spiky things on the wheels. Looks like a rocket for the back end. And a little control panel here for the handlebars or something. And then it's got that ugly little Chumpacabra skull decoration. Too bad you can't actually ride that around. Yeah, they used to, Maddie, they used to, indeed. Maddie's asking about the ground cover for the fab kit, how it doesn't match the ground cover that is actually on the plot. In the past, it blended. I don't know why they changed that. It doesn't make sense to me. It looked much better when it actually blended with whatever ground choice you picked, but for whatever reason, it's reverted back to not doing that. It's unfortunate, but I don't know, it kind of forces you to use only certain, if you want it to look deserty, then you have to use this in a desert scene kind of thing. But I don't know why they changed it. It's one of those reverts that, you wish they hadn't done. So here we have a little tower thing. This is a little medical facility. It's got one of the new medical tables there. I guess this is to get up on the next floor. Here we have a little kitchen. Look how adorbs is that. The counter is just built out of Galaris stone walls. topped with staircase landings. I think this is supposed to be a cake with candles on it, so it looks like the bottom of the barnacle weed. Because I often say the barnacle weed, the bottom of it looks like chocolate to me, so I've used it as cakes and stuff too. That's how I made my heart cake on the Valentine's pot. It just looks like chocolate. It's got that nice, warm, gooey color, I guess. And then they topped it with looks like a Drake and candelabra kind of thing to make it look like it's got holiday candles on it. The canisters are made out of, looks like Chua cylinders and topped with, well, this one's topped with, it looks like a silver keg. And those are, look at the size of those spoons. Those are huge. Go up to the next floor. Looks like a little bedroom. Not sure what that's supposed to be. Here with the little landings. Is that supposed to be cards, seeds? I don't know what that's meant. The bowl of something. Candies maybe? Like little chocolate pieces? That's my best guess. I don't know. It is whatever it is. And here's the little office. I like the different filing cabinets here. Got the basic metal crates used as drawers, and I'm going to see if I can get a little closer in to see what these are. It looks like the basic crates kind of sunk in just so that you see the trim, and then the Merg dynamite for the handles of those. Looks like a hover part piece for the top of this desk, framed in with metal edged 2x4s. Yeah, taser shell. It's just it's a different way of doing it. I mean, I'm sure they could come up with a different staircase. And here's a treasure room slash strain room. Again, if you're looking for places to put things that you don't quite know what to do with them, or they don't match anything, a treasure room or like a display case, those are perfect places for that. I like the cabinetry though. Okay, getting dizzy here going around and around. There's also a little walkway going up the outside. Should be able to get a good view of the plot itself too. Whoop, got something sticking out there. Talk about dizzy. Goodness. Just keeps going. Here we are. Ah, a little observatory up here. He's missing his lens or something. There's needs something right there at the top. Nice well, maybe they left it blank so that you could actually come in and look through it. That might be why. Little telescope here for this little observatory, but this is a really great shot of the property itself. You can see the main house here, the vineyards over here. Nice little hilly area there. I may have to take a closer look at this myself because I've got some hills that I need to cover up, and I've been debating on how to do that. And I may just have to use some of those ideas myself. Take a shortcut. Ooh, damage. Now here's a way that they've taken the garden, the flower garden fab kit, and they've added their own bits. So they've added in the white picket fencing and lots of pumpkins. So they've made it just a little different than, and I like that when someone can find ways to incorporate elements to the original fab kits or the original homes and change it up to make it more personal, their own. So back here we have a little barn farm thing. You can see it's mostly constructed of decking pieces. You got the little picnic area here. You got the little outhouse back here. I can zoom in and take a good look there. It's just the bucket and a used, empty paper, toilet paper roll. So pity for the person that comes in next. But they got the basics covered. And then go inside. And it's basically just the farm, the hay barn thingy for the WildStars. But up top is where I guess the shepherd stays. So they've got this old record player, and even comes with a headset. The headset is just, I guess it's Cassian domes with the hanging wire to make the headset, and then the record player itself is made out of metal-edged wooden pieces. Looks like two-o floor, excuse me. The back side of it could be one of the Orin windows, but I think it's more probably like the well, it's not exactly round, it's more oval, so I'm not sure. I wanted to say it was the back of the circular window, but that's not too ovally, so I'm not sure what that is. It looks like the top of a wine bottle for the little thing in the middle. For the little pin, the little arm thing, that's rain gutters. And of course the Chua floor for the little topper. But I like that idea. You don't see too many of. I've seen a few DJ tables with some of the record things, and I made a jukebox myself, but I'm not quite sure what that is. It could be maybe it's the bottom of the judge hat. That's kind of ovally shaped judge's hat. I thought it was a more lighter brown though, but I really haven't paid too much attention, so maybe that's what it is. It could be the back of maybe one of the mounted Draken ears or tongue or something. I think some of those are oval shaped that might have that texture on the back. So there's some items to check since I don't know for sure what it is. But the countertop here is all just wooden 2x4s, metal-edged wooden blocks. And then these are presumably the records that they're playing. They're just using posters for that. What else is in here? Pretty standard stuff on that part, but it's worth it for the little record player and headset, for folks looking for little ideas like that. So here's the roaming hills, and this is where I'm going to have to play around with some of this on my own for the Easter plot. I have the hills, but I don't have the grasses and stuff laid out. And this gives me a good idea. I think the problem is the grasses that we have available don't quite match the grasses on the actual ground, so I kind of hesitated to use that. But here's some roaming hills, and it's like they're covered in, tall hay, grassy stuff. You got your WildStar herd, but then you've got some that's been rolled up, the hay. Various little plants. I think that's those purple plants again that we didn't know what they were. Now we know. I'm pretty sure these little bits like this, that's from the vases, the pink flower vases you get. I have used a few of those like that, so I'm not sure what that is. It's a really cute idea. I don't know for sure exactly what they're using for the hills. It looks to be like the Hugel statues. That's what I used for mine, and they're kind of similar colored. It just might not be the exact same Hugel that they're using, because I think mine is a little shaped differently. But it's a nice idea. If you're wanting to try and add some landscaping to your plot and don't want to be stuck with using those snowy hills and things, because then you have all the edges you have to hide and everything. Those are a good way of giving some varied contour to your land. Again, they drop these little hugels in quite a few of the areas. Now, if you're wanting to know about these, I love the idea of this. If anyone's familiar with the, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's the fab kits with the pumeras on it, where you can grow the little baby pumera, little cubs. You see them here. This is one of their fab kits, and this person has chosen to build around it and incorporated it into this little, like a little, I don't know. It's like they didn't want the cave part, the rocks and stuff showing just the loam. They wanted to enclose it, but it's supposed to be like the little pen where they grow them, breed them or whatever. So that when you come around here, well, let me go this way. Then you come up on this lovely little pet shop. And again, they've used the same fab kit twice so that they could have the little cubs built into the bit. And they've just built the little shop around it to fit so that where the cubs appear, that's where they put the cages. So you have this little pet shop thing. It's an adorable idea. It's not one easy to work with by any means because of the positioning, I'm sure. But look at that. It's just so funny how they come up with that. But you can see it's the same fab kit. If you look from the back, up on my over here, you can see that the same rock is there. See how it's the same? They just put two in, and they've made one for like the breeding part and the other for the shop. So they're sitting in the same position. The mama's sleeping in the same spot, but the way they've built around it, it just makes them fit. It's a really fun little idea. But there's so much more here. I mean, look at these the pet shop things. They got the little climbing house thingies that they have with the little dangly ball that they can play with, you know. They've got the over here they got the cash register made out of like one of those control panels. It's got several bits really. There's a Dominion like dresser thing there. I think the main part of it is the cellar entrance, and then they've just capped it with one of those control panel thingies to make it look like a register. So you get the readout on this side, and then you got all the buttons on this side. Over here, they got another one of those little cat houses kind of thing where they got the pillow and the tubes and the scratch, you know, bars. And they got all the little toys and feeding bowls and stuff. Bags of feed, you would presume, things like that. But I love the way that they've incorporated this in so cleverly. You think, oh my gosh, they got these little NPCs, but it's really just a fab kit, and they've look at the he just moving around. It's hilariously done. Got little food dishes in each little cage. Most of it is boxed up and trimmed with 2x4s. Got Cassian floors for most of the topping of it. And of course, the building itself is made out of various exile pieces like arches and domes, floors. But how awesome is that? I mean, I couldn't have come up with something like that. It was just unreal that them blending that in to make it look like that. It's just nuts. So here we have their little greenhouse. So they've used cardboard boxes as the trim, and they didn't even bother using dirt. They're just letting the hover part pieces behave as both the cabinet and the dirt itself. So they have different types of plants. If you're wondering what the blue leaf ones are, that's just the barnacle weed, and they've just hidden the chocolatey part. Fork for the little hoe thingy. Upside down planters, so that it looks like they've got several planters empty, ready to fill. And large ones for rakes and shovels. I like how they're using the stove top here to kind of be like, I don't know, a way to kind of heat things up, keep it warm in there. It's a cute little idea. Mostly with glass. One part is exile floors, and then it's got oren pillars for most of the structure there. Over here we have the little graveyard. I don't remember what this, I think it's part of one of the crypts, but I'm not positive. Draken fences for the fencing part, and then of course the Dominion headstones. And they're using Hugel statues for the dirt, the freshly buried dirt. Different plants and the Draken candelabras for the individual graves. I don't know, Maddie. That might be how they've gotten them positioned. I really couldn't tell because I never used the fab kit myself. Um, but it would be something funny to try out, to test. Let's see what's in here. I'm not sure what the 3 buttons are for. It looks like a little bit of like a shrine fountain kind of thing. I love this piece. The only thing that annoys me is the movement. I would like one that doesn't move and one that moves, because there's a lot of instances where I want to use those pretty feathers for things, but it looks weird when it moves if I don't want it to. I'd like to, have the option of turning that off if I want to. It's just me being greedy, though, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what the buttons are for. Just one of those mysteries. Let's go into now this is the actual house on the plot. They've built one up, and I can't remember if there's actually anything in here. Yeah, I thought it was empty, but I couldn't remember. But that's the actual main house, and they've just built around it. I think they added I want to say that the windmill isn't actually on there. They added that themselves. Let's go ahead and go on over to the vineyard here, since I seem to be leaving the house as the last thing. The vineyard is a cute idea. I've seen other people do orchards and things, and I just like seeing how people change it up differently. So they've used the regular little wooden fences with the bushberry bushes, or I don't know what the actual name of it is, along with the red lanterns as the fruit bits. I assume that's what it looks like to me, is they're using the lanterns as the fruit bits. And like this is where you would come and I guess collect them. And over here they've got like a little tub where they've used the bar stools as like the squished fruit, where you come in here and stomp, kind of like on I Love Lucy, where she come in here and was ankle deep in squishy stuff to make the juice that I guess would presumably come out here in the little troughs. And then they get processed here inside the brewery or whatever. Brewery seems to be more like for beer and stuff. I don't know, maybe wine has that too, but got all the kegs. You got different pipes and stuff coming down. Here's some more of the little berry juice or whatever it is. And there's a little selection for sampling. Again, they hide these hugels everywhere. There's like tons of them just up here. Let me just claim that and close it so it won't be lit up on there. Again, another hugel. Mostly the new, I think it's the sandstone rocks for this little structure. Again, they're using these little berry buttons. I don't know what it's supposed to represent. And I guess having the hugels everywhere, you know, matches with the name Hugel Acres, but I just think it's nice that they find little ways to kind of sneak them in there everywhere you go. Let's go this way first. This is a variety of things here. I think that's that new honey extraction platform or something from WildStar that they've incorporated here, and then this is the dreg windmill, I believe. It makes that very lovely little squeaking noise. I actually used it for my windmill on my plot. I've got it hidden inside the windmill, so it sounds like the windmill's making the noise. Notice the little windows they've used as extra little lighting for that particular area. Here's the little bar. They repeated the cash register. Yeah, they could probably play a hugel game, you know, find all the hugels. So here's the bar. Again, they've got this repeated. I'm sure that means something. Maybe there's 3 different brands of wine they make. I don't know. So you come in to this little house. I guess this is where the brewer lives. The brewer. Notice the little stovetop here. It's just a suitcase they're using as little like hot pad for the frying. You can see the inside of the little thing with all the different wines and glasses. Another good shot of the property there. You can see the rolling hills, the little barn here, the vineyard and the main house. It's nice how with all that greenery here, you can't see the UFO. You have to actually go off into the woods to find that. Okay, I think I've hit everything except the main house, so let's see about checking it out. I'm going to go back around to the front instead of coming around the back. Yeah, me too, boy. I'd probably have to take screenshots of everything. I did that with the Winterfest plot that the one did. The name doesn't come to mind offhand, but they did one where you had to find all the Giggle Me Gaffos, and I think I only found 10. I went back several times and never could find the other 2, so they were very well hidden. So you come back to the front, and this is the main house. It's very open, lots of windows, so you can see just about everything that's going on in there. But we'll talk about some of the construction. Most of it is Oran walls and Oran arches, Oran floors, and Oran pillars. So you really stuck with the Oran theme, even in the materials that they use. It's not really required if you're aiming for an Oran type of house. You can use other materials, but sometimes, you know, that's just the way you want to go. That's the way you want to go. So you have this nice little porch. It's got the rustic fencing for the railing here. And we'll go inside. And straight away you have your little coat rack, which is made out of the short files for the little knobs, and then just a wooden 2x4. A window for the mirror, and then of course the bar for the little countertop here. Inside the living room here, got this nice little, kind of like a, I don't know what you call it. It looks like a day room area where you would come and entertain guests. And this is what appears to be like a boom box. It's just made out of the ornate cabinet container chest thingy. Can't think of the names. It's ornate something. The red moon vents for the speakers, a window for the little buttons up here, and then the vintage beer mug for the handle. For the antenna, it's just one of the Draken spears. You know, it's just a little something extra. I mean, I like little things like that, a little boom box. You know, most people would probably resort to just using the new caretaker DJ to represent their music, but that's a cute little idea. I like that. Let's see, what else is in here? Here's like the den. And notice the windows, you know, it's arches, but they kind of scatter it, or not scatter it, but offset it a bit so that it kind of doubles up a little bit. So it makes an interesting pattern. Then you have this little den of pillows. I think pillows are like a given on any Orany type of plot. And here we have the kitchen. Notice what they're using for the chandeliers. I think it's one of those protostar lamps. For the fridge, it's just a pair of airtight containers with a hoogle for the handle. And there was somebody asking about a stack of plates. They were under the impression that there's actually a stack of plate decor. To my knowledge, there aren't. It's just a single plate, and people make a stack by just adding some space between each one. For me, these are a little too spaced because you can see there's a bit of a gap. I think the first two were good, and then it just spaced out too much between the rest. But that's my opinion. The countertops for this kitchen is made out of books. If you can see, it's 3 layers for each one, and then handles for each cabinet is also a book. I love seeing constructions like this because I know the books are available relatively cheap off of the housing vendors. So anything that's using stuff that's pretty easy to get a hold of is great, especially because typically beginner builders don't have access to all of that uber awesome vendor, reputation vendor decor or exclusive decor that maybe you only got at certain holidays that have come and gone, or certain sales that were on the cash shop or whatever, and being able to show them that you don't have to have all of those high fancy pieces. You can still make a nice little kitchen out of simpler pieces and much easier to obtain pieces is always a big plus in my eyes. The chopping block is just a metal-edged block there, a piece of wood. The toaster is a metal crate. I like that. It's just simple, but you know what it is. The same way with the microwave. It's just a combination of metal crates, and then it's got the tablet computer on the front. Same way with the stove. They're repeating the one that they had in the other little house. It's just the suitcase, the briefcase, suitcase, one of those. But you know, when you're doing something makeshift like that, as long as it kind of resembles it, if people recognize it straight away what it is, then you're on the right track or you've done a good job with it. If they're kind of like, well, it could be this, it could be that, then you might need to refine it a little bit. I like the little rug. It's just the top of an orange dresser for the little foot rug there. And then when you come out into the back, you've got the playground for the kitties. You've got a teeter-totter. It's made with hammers with the little handles, um, purple star cushions, pillows for the little cushiony area, and a cylinder piece with a 2x4. Simple, but you know, you don't see a lot of people making little playground things. When I first came here, I was like, what is this? And I was just looking at it from here. I didn't notice all the others, but I understand what it is now. It's a little merry-go-round with a hoogle on top. There we go. Got to have that mandatory hoogle there. The little tire swing, really a little cute thing. Just a couple of hanging chains, a tire, a cushion, and some 2x4s. Simple, simple. The merry-go-round is just a dome with some cylinder bits in the middle, and then I think it's the honey dividers for the little, I don't know what you call those, the arms of it. Then you come out to the swimming pool. You've got the lounge seating made out of decking pieces. Looks like 3 pieces total, probably a long piece, a short piece, and another short for the leg there. Hover part pieces for most of the base of the pool. Looks to be Oran walls for the little bit of design that's there, and then that repeat of the little pathway bits that we got. It's got that little art collection coffee table sunk under there. It's just a waterfall for the water. Just managed to, I don't know if they picked the size of the waterfall first and then built around that or what. It looks a little, I mean, you can see how it kind of starts to go down on this end right here, so it's not perfectly level, but that's just due to the nature of the decor piece itself. And of course, you got the little slide here that you, in theory, slide all the way down into the pool. Really a cute little idea, like stuff like that. Okay, into the kitchen, the living room. I think we're time to go upstairs. So the first one is the game room. So you have your pool table. It's a combination of metal edge 2x4s. You got the Oran, I guess it's the Oran table there, and then the googly eyes for the balls. Don't really see any pool sticks, so either they decided they didn't want to try and come up with pool sticks or forgot about them or something. But then there's the bar and the hoogle. Gotta have the hoogle. Over here, excuse me, bedroom. I like how they're using, it seems like an expensive piece to be using as a nightstand, but they're using one of those gray stone dens as the nightstand. Very jungly looking in here. You got the Oran pillars for the main frame of the bed, green pillows for the blanket. The little pillow for the head is actually the top of one of the chests, and of course they just kind of kept with that with all of the furs, top, ceiling and floor and on the side. Then you have this bedroom. Let me just close this door real quick so you can see a little better. This hits me more as a child's room because you have, it looks like little toys here, them strewn all over the ground. You got like a little pet bed or something. This one looks like a little girl's princess bed with the white fence posts being used as the little bits here, and then you've got the this is the same table that they're using for the walkway path showing the butterfly, and they've just used it for, it's like 3 of them here, 2 back to back and then 1 for the top. It's a really cute little bit for a bed. And then this one is made out of the same, but they've just left it as the base and then filled it with 2 pillows for the bed on that. See, they even got like a little miniature shopkeeper thing. This hits me as like the kids' room. Go out to this little porch area so you can see a little bit more of the house. Here's the bathroom. Just close this door again so we can see it nicely. Here's the toilet. See, look, it's a toilet again, but it's totally different from the ones we've seen so far and ever. It's just, I don't know, it's a weird fascination I guess I have with toilets, but it looks like arches, an arch here, an arch for the backing, some curved walls, and then the domes and cylinders for the bowl. Even got a little pull chain with a hoogle. There's a hoogle. Like a hoogle in every room. See, there's one right there. Again, it's the orange dome, the hollow dome with the red moon vent. And it looks like they're using the garden hose for the little faucet thing here. They probably had to turn it that way because if they'd had it turned straight forward, it'd be poking outside the house, mostly because this is a custom built house and you're kind of restricted on how much you can stick through the wall, unless you specifically build your walls double so that you have spacing between. Here's the tub. They've just used an orange landing pad for the main base of it. Added the red moon vent, and then again using the garden hose as a little faucet bit. And the last room on this floor is the office / library. They have all these books, and then you got this massive little home office. The cabinets again are metal edged wooden blocks, and then the metal crates used for the drawers. They're using the new medical tables for the countertop. For the computer itself, it's a combination of, there's a book for the base of it. It looks to be I think it's the body scanner decor, because it comes with I think that's what it is. I really can't say for sure. It's kind of hard to tell because I think it has an ergonomics keyboard already attached on it, and then of course the tablet computer for the main screen. They're using a couple of the magnetized containers for like the brain, and then for the little mouse thing, it looks like a lever switch for that. Got the hoogle. Gotta have the hoogle. Okay, on to the last floor, I think. And we have the gym. Yeah, there's an actual ergonomics keyboard that comes separate by itself, but I'm pretty sure the body scanner has one attached to it. And that metal part, the little silver metal part, kind of reminded me of that. It could be separate pieces, but anyway, this is the gym, little workout place. They got the little, looks like, I guess it's supposed to be the boxing bag here, and the dumbbells, which is just tires on granite pillars of varying sizes. You got your uh, little water thing. The only thing that's a little odd is the hose is kind of going through the counter there, the little shelf. It even comes with a shower for after you finish your workout. You can go in and shower. That's a plate for the base of it, and of course the red moon vent for the shower head, a dome, and then some cylinder pieces to kind of tie that off in there. I like the little holder for the the dumbbell over here, and of course you got the noisy treadmill. Out here is another little deck area. They've got a nice little swing, couch swing. It's made out of some hover part pieces, 2x4s, the Exile mattress, hanging chains, and the Orin pillars. They're really cute little design. I've made a few in the past myself, and I like that one. It's nice and simple. Just like with these, I guess those are the half bowl cover part pieces for the chairs here. And the mandatory hugel. And it looks like, if you're wondering what this is, it's one of the metal bowls with the, looks like the one of the fire pits. I don't know if it's the falcon or something for that. I like how they've anchored this one down, this little floaty plant. They've anchored it with the blocks so it can't go anywhere. I think mostly they did that to explain the, if you remember down in the game room, there's the light. They had that chain sticking out, so they had to make sense of it. And that's one way to do it. If you have something that's showing up that you really don't want showing, find a way to kind of disguise it. And that's one way to do that one. Look, there's a hugel up top. See, maybe they are planning a little find the hugels, because who would look up here for a hugel? But it's there. It's right there on the top. If you're wondering how they get the stripe design, it's basically when you overlap two of the like domes or walls or something of different textures. If you offset it just by a little bit, it'll make that stripe pattern. I did that with some of my Easter eggs for my Easter plot, for those curious. So I think we spotted it all. I hope so. It's really a cute plot. It's a nice, a lot of nice little clever ideas. That's some of my favorite types of plots. But yeah, so that's it for today. That's our show. I hope you guys enjoyed these tours, and I hope you look forward to joining us on the next one, which of course will be next week, Exile's Turn. Already lining up some nice plots for that one, so we're going to keep it going. Thank you guys for joining me, and I appreciate all the tweets, retweets, and I especially appreciate the hosting. I think it was Maximus or something. I can't remember the name offhand. I'll have to thank him personally for hosting the show. It's been fun. And I will say now that the PTR is open, that's probably where I will be streaming from tomorrow. I don't plan to do that every day that it's open, but I do want to kind of give some sneak peeks to some of the upcoming decor. So I'm going to spend this afternoon, hopefully, and try and find either some decor myself or find some plots that have some on display so that we can kind of take a up close look at it. Um, oh, it was my pleasure, Soccer. It's again, it's one of my favorites. I see that, and there's a ton of favorites, but really there are some that really stick out in my mind, and I love the little house that you made. So it was my pleasure to do it. Yeah, Pui, it's going to, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, the 50th episode is still a couple of months away. It sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. Um, but I'll be announcing more details on that celebration. Probably, I'm aiming for mid next month, and hopefully people will be happy to get involved in that. In fact, I just found out from Katia that she is going to make us some a custom furniture set to donate to give away as a prize. And of course, um, uh, I've got some others that are going to be donating some stuff. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. It's just I want it to be now, but I can't. I have to wait until it's the 50th. So, but I am going to start posting some information about that soonish in the next couple weeks, maybe. I just don't want to do it too soon because I still have to confirm some things with Carbine. I'm trying to work with them into getting some actual physical loot that maybe we can award some of our viewers, but I still have to hear back from them. They said that they were going to be working with me on that, and that was like a month ago because I wanted to give them a really big heads up. I didn't know how far in advance I needed to ask, and so I think they've kind of waited, and so I'm going to have to say, okay, it's getting a little closer. Are we still, a go for some stuff? Oh, well, I'd appreciate that, Annie. I already have some codes. I think it's for some costume pieces and decor pieces. So anything else would be great. I just hope that there's enough people that show up that, I may be giving out stuff for weeks after the episode because maybe I don't have enough viewers drop by. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm anxious for it to hurry up and get here. But in the meantime, hopefully we'll find some extra new homes. But yeah, definitely, the plan is the 50th that we're gonna, recap some of our favorites, and it's just gonna be something that I'm gonna rely on you guys and other viewers to kind of help me decide which ones you want to see again. But like I said, I'll give more details of that later. I'm still working on the write-up, and again, I'm reconfirming with Carbine as far as whether or not they're going to uh, follow through on that bit. But yeah, so tomorrow probably PTR sneak peek. Um, if not, we'll go back to the Easter plot. But definitely, if it's PTR tomorrow, then Friday will be Easter plot time because I really do need to still continue working on it. I haven't touched it since then. And that reminds me, I do want to apologize for not streaming yesterday, but as it happens, my son got sick again. He ended up getting dizzy. He even passed out the day before at school, so I was kind of on a little tizzy yesterday worrying about him, so I didn't even hardly play at all. I think I stepped in to get my daily reward, and that was it. Because it was just, I was kind of stressed out about him, but he's okay. He's just, I guess, needing to pay a little more attention about making sure he eats breakfast. I've tried to get him and everything to do that, but you know how kids are. You can tell them to do something, and that'll mean that they definitely won't do it. But now he's got the doctor saying you need to do this so that you have enough energy and stuff. So yeah, now I'm making like little special breakfasts in the morning to try and get him to eat it. But anyway, so yeah, thank you again for joining. I hope you had fun. I sure did. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye bye.